Just giving credit to Eastern Washington. Um, they've had a great year in a great conference, finishing second, but a great opponent tonight. Also, just happy for our guys in postseason play. Obviously after the Mountain West tournament, having another opportunity to get on the floor and compete, and still be alive in postseason play. And at the same time, thinking that this situation is truly beneficial, not only for the rest of this season, but also carry it over into the next year.
Coach, you started Justin, obviously he plays starter minutes, but you gave him the start. Just you wanted some more energy. What was some of the reasoning there? It looked like it worked pretty well.
No, with Justin, it's sometimes it doesn't even come to basketball. I think what we try to do as a staff, as a program, and we not only coach our guys on the floor, but we coach them off. And I think he's just done a lot of great things in his development, not only on the floor, but off the floor. So it's not to say that I wasn't starting him because of it, because I do like his energy coming off the bench. Like Hayton's energy coming off the bench. And I mixed up Hayton every once in a while with a starter situation. But I did tell our guys that I wanted to almost treat this situation like next year. If you can kind of look at it, I didn't play Jason as much with him being a senior, but I wanted our younger guys to be able to get some of this experience of playing in postseason play. And like I said, I feel like that would help us or help the program going forward.
Is that kind of what went into Andrew starting as well, and how do you think he did with that start too?
Same energy. I think he's a kid that, again, we like to try to coach these guys both on and off the floor. And again, it's not like I'm saying the first 20 seconds of a game, means that much to me. I care more about the minutes overall, because at the end of the day, the bench production was still pretty good tonight. But yeah, we've had times where we've struggled early, but everybody all of a sudden forget the times where we played well when we started off. When we came out like gangbusters, nobody was complaining about that then. So I'm not overly concerned with that. I think Justin is a really good player. I think Andrew's a really good player. I think I got a good core group of guys that I can throw out there at any moment and can start.
You guys seem to have a response every time they made a surge at you, and they made quite a few at you all night.
Yeah, gosh. You got to commend our guys to just stand the course. I thought the kid 24, Wiley, he's made 3 threes on the whole entire year, and he goes 3 for 4. And every coach in America always said it always happens against you, But that didn't stop us in our effort, I thought we still continued to play basketball. And at the end of the day, we couldn't take away everything because it is a really good team. And when you think about the kid number 32, did a great job of getting to the basket and scoring it. But like I was telling our guys and telling our staff, they're 2s. I'd rather those than 3s. And I thought we did a great job there, but at the same time, we were good attacking them on the other end of the floor as well.
Did you like the way, obviously, you scored 91 points, but a lot of guys have got involved. It looks like you shared the ball very well. Movement was pretty good. Was this one of your better offensive games, at least in a while, as far as a lot of those things go?
Well, I was excited about us taking care of the basketball. First off, I think we had 4 in the first half, 5 in the second. But again, I've always said this about our program. We're really good when we do share the basketball. When you come off the floor and you got 5 guys in double figures, I think another few guys were not that far from 10. But even with a talent like JJ that can go get his own shot, like Lou Adams that can go get his own shot, still with that ability to move the basketball, and guys being able to do that when our defense is clicking and that is clicking, I still believe that we're a pretty good basketball team.
Coach, you talked about them being a team that likes to slow it down. Obviously, you guys are on the other end of the spectrum. Did you feel like you were pretty successful in establishing tempo tonight?
I thought we did some things to try to force them to play faster, and I thought we had a few opportunities where they did try to play and end up going in and probably taking some tough twos that they missed and gave us an opportunity to get back out of transition. But if you look at the score and you say 91 to 81, yeah, that's probably, you know, if you would have said that before the game, the score was 91 to 81, I would have banked on we probably would have won it because we would want to play that way versus them playing that way.
There's been a few times this season where you guys lead by a large margin, and into the half, and then it comes back down to 2 or 3 points at the second. Do you ever address that with your team? Do you think that's a problem?
No, the only thing I've always said to our guys is our lead is never safe, and their lead is never safe because how we want to play. So again, what I try to tell our guys at the end of the day, that team is going to come out and they're going to fight. You know, they're not just going to pack it in and say, okay, the season's over, especially with that being a veteran basketball group. They didn't want to go out the way they did, you know. But my thing is, if we're up, you know, we can't be complacent and think that it's over. But at the same time, if we're down, you know, we still feel like we have enough punch on the offensive end of the floor to make up some deficits.
But you know that who's been a part, when he's been healthy, have been a pretty big part of this team. And I know last few games he seems to be really productive. And I know the Air Force game was really disappointing all around. But you like where he's at right now, and is he kind of like you said earlier, kind of like that glimpse toward next year?
This is Lou you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a great talk with Lou the other day, one-on-one. My thing is always with Lou is just compete, you know. And I thought he did a pretty good job of that the last few days. And like I tell our guys after the game, sometimes I look at the stat sheet and I still be just mad, man. Just be mad. Like I feel like you could have did more, you know. And sometimes that's probably the coach in me for not trying to settle for anything less, because I think he's a really, really talented basketball player. I think he could be a great two-way player. But yeah, I thought he gave us a punch tonight, even from a energy and effort standpoint, and did a great job attacking for us.
From falling in the first round of the Mountain West Championship to where you are right now, how do you feel about your team?
Well, again, I mean, a season, obviously I was disappointed. You know, I know the guys were disappointed. But at the same time, what brings me back to reality is the body of work. You know, you took a team that lost, like I tried to explain, I think I talked to you guys, we lost our LeBron James, you know, from last year. And I tried to explain, when LeBron left the Cleveland Cavaliers, they were bad. When he left the Heat, they didn't make the playoffs either. We lost our guy, we actually won more games, and we finished higher in seed. But everybody remembers that last outing against Air Force, and I'm saying the body of work should speak more than that last game. But at the same time, I'm glad we had another opportunity to get back on the floor to not end our year that way. But I'm confident in our group, and I'm confident in the program going in the right direction.
Experimenting with some rule changes in this
that was great.
Well, yeah. What are your thoughts? Anything that stood out with the fouls or the shot clock? Anything stand out, good or bad, in your eyes?
I thought it was more flow to the game, and the guys in the locker room said the game went a lot quicker in that sense. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Again, I think it lends to what we try to do from a philosophy standpoint of playing up and down the floor without less stoppage. I think that helps us more at the end of the day. But I would be real curious to see if they end up making those changes going into next year. But I thought that was good. I like that.
Would you rather play true quarters, like the women do 10 minutes, or do you like?
No, I actually like this. I like this. Yeah, I like this. I wouldn't want to do the four quarter thing. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Do the medias, but you know, and even the reset of the fouls. You know, I think that helps a lot in the sense of keeping the game moving up and down and playing. So yeah.
You said this team's kind of positive all the time this year, even to a fault. Was it fairly easy, it seem like, to put that disappointment behind them of the Air Force loss?
Yeah, kind of. You know, but it's always, you know, I like that about it, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, it kind of bugs me a little bit. but sometimes you just got to say as a coach, man, that's your guys, you know. And it's not in a sense of disrespecting the game of basketball. I think they're just enjoying the process, and sometimes within the process, it's not always going to go the way you want it to go. I don't think anybody, any coach, any program would ever like to start the game the way we started at Air Force. But, you know, even within the way we started, the guys still fought. You know, they still played the game. They still competed. The score just didn't tell it that way. And then getting back and talking to the guys in the locker room, yeah, there was hurt. You know, they didn't want to this season, and especially for Jason and Mo, to be remembered that way. So again, grateful for the opportunity to be playing in this tournament and giving ourselves more opportunities to mature as a basketball group and even as a program.
So what happens now, you know, you play Missouri, Kansas City, you practice all the way through, take a couple days off and get ready. Do you know anything about them? What happens now until the next game?
We'll take tomorrow off, and then we'll start our preparation on the practice floor. The coaches will start their preparation. The assistants will probably start tonight, and I'll start tomorrow. What I know about UMKC, actually, Coach Kareem, Coach Richardson is a good friend within the business, and like I told our guys, you know, I played for Coach Pitino. He actually coached with Coach Pitino at Louisville. So you got two Rick Pitino, you know, proteges, you know, going at each other, which will be exciting. You know, this may be an opportunity for the 72-20 to really kick in for us, playing against them. But I know they're a well-coached basketball team, and again, I respect Coach Richardson for what he's done with that program since being there.
Congratulations, Justin. I mean, I know you just like to play basketball, made the first start. What was behind that, and was it any different? I mean, you led the team in scoring again, and you've done that a lot. Was it any different for you coming out and starting as opposed to coming off the bench?
Not really for the game, but just for me, you know, having that first start at home, you know, it felt good, you know, coming out, bringing that energy. So it was nice.
You guys notice, I mean, I know both you, Lou and Cody, you come off the bench. Did you notice anything different at the start of the game with Justin out there, at least from the bench, or did you notice anything different, I guess?
No, we really didn't notice much different. Like with this team, it's always been, you know, 8, 9, 10 guys that can all, you know, do their role and bring energy. We always call it the bench mob. Sitting on the bench, you know, we want to be the guys that, you know, the reinforcements that can come in and just keep, you know, playing the exact same way the starters are playing. So.
You guys played a good first half. Was it pretty easy to put that Air Force game behind you, or where were your heads at, you know, moving on from there?
Yeah, I mean, going into the game, we obviously weren't thinking about the last game. We just came in ready to play. We had that mindset, well, we're going to win this game, we're going to move on. And we protected home today, so that's good.
You guys also, you know, it was close in the first half, then you went on a run, and then they cut the gap, you know, I think to 1 in the second half, but you went on another run. Lou, or any of you guys, what was the key in some of those runs, you know, because it seemed like there was multiple guys that played roles in that?
I'd say just defensive breakdowns, us leaving our mans, us leaving three-point shooters, and us just not getting back in transition. And really our transition defense, they weren't really special, anything special they did, just a couple breakdowns on our end.
They're a real talented team, though. I mean, those 3 guys who pretty much had 20 apiece, they were really tough to guard, you know. So yeah. And the light-skinned dude, the big guy, he had a couple threes that we were unexpecting. But yeah, I mean, shout out to them. You know, they're a good team, and you know, came out with a dub.
Lou, I think the first time you guys pulled away a little bit, you had come in not too long before that and had, I think, 9 points during that stretch. Were you just kind of eager to contribute as soon as you got in the court there, or what worked for you during that stretch there?
Nothing special. Just out there with my teammates. Just happy to be out there with them again. You know, we got a great opportunity here to play in the CBI. We didn't get to the NCAA championship, what we really wanted, but again, another day with my brothers is really good for me, so I'm really cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, how does it feel to extend your season like this? It's not what you imagined at the beginning of the season going into this tournament, but how does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. You know, we love to play basketball, so I mean, we're ready to play.
Yeah, it ain't what we expected or what we wanted, but we gonna take full advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, like one of our coaches said, I mean, the ball's going to stop bouncing someday, so, I mean, you only got a limited number of games left in you, so you might as well take advantage of every single one of them. Especially in a tournament like this, you know, we might be playing teams that, you know, don't really want to play, you know, so that's even, you know, more to us. Like, if we're going to come out and play as hard as we can each and every game and go win a championship.
How do you guys think Andrew did today in his first start out there?
He played good. Came out with energy. And the main thing, he defended. He's a big defensive guy. You know, he comes in, he gets stops, he rebounds the ball, he gets blocks. So him having that energy, the nice little putback dunk, yeah, you know, it brought us some energy.
Seemed like you guys wanted to get the ball moving a little bit more, you know, player movement more. 21 assists on 35 fields. Was that kind of a goal, Cody?
I mean, I'd say yes and no. I mean, we've usually been a pretty unselfish team the whole entire year. You know, looking back on that Air Force team, I think we got away from that a little bit. So it was really nice just to come back and find our identity again, which is sharing the basketball and playing as hard as we can on defense. So it's nice to just find our identity and move forward to the next game.
Well, I think, you know, this game obviously you played well, even though the Air Force game was a bad one for this team. You know, I think you had 9 points. It seems like these last few games you've been a little more productive. Has anything changed? Just a little more confidence? Just trying to step up? Has anything changed, I guess, for you in that time?
I just say sense of urgency. It being so late in the season and me wanting, me and the guys just want to win so bad. I just want to do anything to help these guys win, and not seeing us and just send them off the right way. So yeah.
It seemed like there was one point where Coach put you back to the bench and you wanted to stay out there pretty bad. Are you dying for any minutes you can get on the floor?
No comment.
I know they're experimenting with some rule changes with like you setting the fouls and anything. Was it any different for you guys? Did you notice anything?
I mean, we noticed the fouls a little bit because like after the 10-minute mark they would reset, so that's something we got used to, but not really.
It wasn't too much of a difference, but like I remember in the first half, I think we had 4 fouls left with 8 minutes on the clock, you know, and I noticed that, so I was like, well, we're in the bonus the rest of the half, so we can get easy ones. So I mean, it was nice just to, you know, do something a little different.
Seemed like they're a team that kind of opposite you guys would rather play pretty slow. Was that pretty noticeable, or is it tough to establish your own tempo out there?
Yeah, it was noticeable, and that was Coach E's like emphasis coming into the game. This team doesn't want to run with us, so let's get stops and let's run in transition. Because you know we play at 70-20, you know that's an advantage every game that we have. And so taking advantage of that and us running and playing our game, that's good.